Hello guys, it's Lucas here, and what I have for you today, it's the new ANPR camera 415 series. It's the short range version, and that will allow you to pick it up the reg plate, usually at the gate, barrier, entrance to the car park, maybe a petrol station. So the detection distance, it's up to like 6 meters. 3 to 6 meters, so that will pick it up the reg plate perfectly fine. So it need to be careful where you're going to use these cameras. So I wouldn't go mad and try to shoot down and see, you know, cars coming in from like 20 meters away. It's not going to work. You need to have the proper lenses on the camera to do that. For the longer range, you will need to pick up a different camera with the different lenses. Of course, there's a built-in lenses with the motorized lenses and autofocus. That camera, of course, would be powered up of the PoE 12 volts DC or 24 AC. Also, you see there's audio input and output, some alarm inputs and outputs as well for your gate controller, as well as there's the RS-485 output, where you can use that with the Weekend converter. So the RS-485 will go to the Weekend, and the Weekend will go to your access control controller. So you can actually manage the database from the access control and use these as just a simple readers kind of, and just like almost like a fob reader, but reading the reg plates. So it's really piece of the equipment that I really like, and I've been using on a daily basis almost. So many different sites we use them already. This type of the camera obviously is going to allow you to pick up the reg plate, and if your reg plate is in a database, either directly on the head of the camera, or in the database of your recorder, or in the database of your DSS software, either the car park management, the DSS Express, or in the Pro version, you can manage those databases to tell the camera to open or close the gate. So it's really great piece of equipment. So let me show you actually the differences between the short range and the long range, and how you're not supposed to set up the short range. So let me show you in the web browser now. All right. Okay guys, so we are logged into our cameras and our recorder, just via the web browser. In our camera you can see that we are picking up the reg plates. So the best thing to do is just to see what kind of configuration we have here. So when we're configuring such a camera, you see there is our zone of interest. This is where we want to pick up that reg plate. This is the exact spot. So you see I can manually adjust where each corner of that zone is going to be, and this is my zone of interest. So ideally, when you go to the wizard there, I just want to have the reg plate like you see on the right hand side example. So my reg plate should be directly looking at the camera lenses, so it shouldn't be more than 30-degree angle vertically or horizontally, as well as the pixelization of that reg plate shouldn't be less than 150 pixels. So in that case, if I do have the right lenses of my camera, I'll be able to zoom it in all the way. Like you see, I use all my zoom here for that type of the camera. But if I go back to my other camera, I zoom it in all the way here as well. I focused that camera as well, and you see this camera is looking at the reg plate further down, all right, and the angle of the view is definitely within the 30-degree angle, so it will pick up every single reg plate properly. There's no issue to recognize the reg plate. The reg plate is always, it's in the field of view of the camera, nice and clear, and even if the car is going with quite a speed, it will still pick it up, because actual reg plate and the lenses are lined up with each other within that 30-degree angle. So you see, this is just a long range camera. So in the case with the older type of the cameras, if you ever come across these again, you see my zone of interest is that red zone, and my snap line, I just have that in the middle here. And you also see there's like a calibration yellow box. This yellow box will allow you to actually go and select where the reg plate is going to be. And the best thing to do for those type of the older type of the cameras is just to maybe park your van on the front of the camera, select the exact position where the yellow box is going to be. You see there's an example where, so how big or small the reg plate should be. Once you have that done, you zoom it in, zoom out, and you just go next. You see again we have an example how the snap line should be drawn here as well, so we can just draw the snap line all the way through the zone, and that will pick it up every single reg plate straight away once we have these enabled. So you see now this one here is going to pick it up another car straight away with no issues whatsoever. Of course, every single reg plate can be viewed directly on the recorder. So this is a GUI of the recorder, and we just need to go to the AI. In AI, we go to the motor vehicle, and we can select the camera in question or multiple cameras if you like. So we're just going to select our camera number 3 and 4. These are our ANPR cameras, and straight away we get the results. So you can see the huge difference between the short range and the long range. So the short range is obviously positioned, it's incorrect. So in that case, if we need to put the camera quite high and look at the retro in certain distance, I would definitely recommend the long range camera. So we can get these cameras in two type of the lenses, both motorized with the autofocus, but it depends where that camera is going to be positioned. You need to make sure you order the right equipment. So you can see the great example of the same cars and how inaccurate sometimes the recognition might be if you're not going to use the right lenses. Of course, with these reg plates, well, we can of course search for the particular reg plate, as well as we can also create a database of our reg plates. In our database in the vehicle block list, allow list, we can just simply keep adding the reg plates in here. So we can just go with whatever reg plate we like, with a customer's name or someone's name to open up the gate, for example, and the validation periods. The only thing we need to change is the end time. So for how long is that going to be valid? Let's see, 2027. Refresh that page, and here you go. We have our reg plate in place. So from now on, this person is on the allow list with its reg plate, and this is the validation period. So in the case if that person will arrive on site on one of my cameras that is connected to my recorder, it will open up the gate automatically, so I don't have to do anything else. I can manage this reg plate list from the GUI, from the web browser, like you see, so I could do it anywhere remotely, or I can do it locally on machine as well. So it could be a security guard on site, and they would still have access to this database if they need to amend any of the reg plates. So it's really straightforward, like you see here, and really love this feature that you can add the reg plates manually. You don't always have to import and export the reg plates. There's an option for that as well. Of course, on the bottom of the screen, you see I can import and export. I can download the template, and in the template, I can actually show you the template. So I just create a template here. I can just put the reg plate with the exact validation period as well. And if we're talking about hundreds of reg plates, of course it's much easier to create a template and import them in this way rather than import them one by one in this database. But it's totally up to you which scenario you like to use. Which option is more convenient for you to use. So thank you very much, guys, and I hope this is gonna be helpful for you. And if you have any questions, just comment below, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye.